Hello and welcome back to Build Your Best Life. For those of you who have been with us all morning long, thank you so very much. You still have time to reach out to all of your social media friends. To those of you who are just joining us for this session, we welcome you. As always, we promise you will walk away with some tidbit information that you can use to help you build your best life. And I think all of us want to find out more on how we can build our best life so that each and every day can be our best day ever. We've had two wonderful speakers this morning. We've had a mine, and then our wonderful elder Deborah. She blessed us with an original poem about leaving the nest. Now we're so very excited to be in this third phase of this wonderful Men to Boys conference. And to kick off this section number 3, we're going to be blessed with a solo by none other than Miss Alexis Jenkins. So lend your ears and open your heart as she bless us with a song. Thank you for your patience, because right now we're not hearing anything, but just hold on.
Lonely and alone for heaven and home. When Jesus is my portion, a constant friend is He. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. I sing because I'm happy, and I sing come I'm free. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alexis, for blessing us with His eye is on the sparrow. And if He watches over the birds, guess what? I definitely know that He watches me. I know we had a little technical difficulties, but that's all right, because life is about how we handle our situations, and we always have a plan B. So thank you so much, Alexis, for working with us and for blessing us again with that wonderful solo. As we enter into our next speaker and that next category, I want you to lend your ears, because I guarantee you we're going to find out some information, whether you are a man, a boy, a female, a little girl, that all of us can learn and use and hopefully grow from. It's never, ever too early to start learning about how to manage our money. I like that screen when it was up. It's not about how much you owe the bank. It's about how much money you have in the bank. So we need to listen. We're not in love with money, but we know it takes money to operate. So we're going to find out all of this information from none other than Mr. Santana W. Johnson. His name even sounds like he can bring all of that information to us. Santana. And Santana knows all of the stuff that he's going to give us so that we can be better stewards of what God has blessed us with. Santana was born and raised in the inner city of Jacksonville, Florida, and he attended W.M. Rain High School. He graduated from Florida A&M University of Business and Industry with a degree in accounting. He interned with a reputable firm and later became a certified public accountant. Always being a go-getter, and we can tell that, Santana began writing the vision, making it plain, and listening to the voice of God. He worked hard, of course, served as a humanitarian to others, and was consistent in his journey. Those words are some of the same words and some of the same tidbits that we heard from our first two speakers. So we're trying to find the tie and the thread that connects these wonderful men of God together, and we hear it already. They know how to serve others. They're being consistent, and they believe in working hard. It's just not going to come to you. Today, Santana, and we're so proud of you, he is the president and CEO of Centuria Financial Service and managing partners of Centurion Wealth Advisors. It brings him immense pleasure to treat each client like their family. That's good news. He and his staff provide superior customer service, years of experience and knowledge, and peace of mind. That's another common thread that we have been favored with on this Men to Boys conference. Santana is the founder of the nonprofit Dot Cares Foundation. His beloved grandmother, Dorothy Johnson, affectionately known as Doc, inspired this organization. Although Miss Dot only had a sixth grade education, she constantly encouraged the underprivileged to strive for excellence in education and financial literacy. I know, Santana, you can agree with me. They could do a lot more with $5 than we can do with $500 and $5,000 today. That's nobody but God. Nobody but God. So Miss Johnson imparted a legacy of wisdom and integrity into the life of her grandson, Santana. Santana, the OJs brought us For the Love of Money. The Beatles brought us Money Can't Buy Us Love. Rick James brought us Money Talk. And New Power and Prince brought us Money Don't Matter Tonight. So it's my honor and my pleasure to present to us today none other than Santana Johnson, who's going to bring us how to make your money matter. Welcome, Santana. How are you?
Thank you. I am really excited about this moment. Ms. Smith asked me some time ago, and then when she told me what it was really for, it just really excited me because I think this is the generation that can make the change. And so I'm looking forward to sharing what I think are important tidbits to try to shape that culture.
Well, I am just so excited. And I know this is a Men to Boys conference, but all of us are going to learn some great tips and lessons from you. I have my pen in hand, I have my notes, and I am ready because I know that I am going to be all the more wiser and smarter after your presentation.
Okay.
So we are all ears and ready to learn from you, Mr. Santana.
Okay. Well, first, I would like to say that I am so excited to have dialogue with the young men and now, I guess, women that are listening in. So often, financial literacy comes up, but nobody really gives any answers on how to resolve the problem. So I want to provide some tidbits, some framework to try to level the playing field. And what I mean by leveling the playing field is often different cultures have a jump on us because they're taught this from day one, and we're taught it later on in life, so we're not started at the same place. This is why I want to focus on this age. I think it's 15 to 24. If I could get them to think about money the way it should be thought about, then I think a lot of decisions will be made different and a lot of changes will be made in families. So often, especially with this 15 to 24 age group, is I want to make money. I want to make money. I want to drive the nice car. I want to do all these things. I want to suggest that if you desire to make money without the maturity to handle the money, ultimately it's going to lead to regrets. You do not want your money to be greater than your maturity. Always keep in mind that regrets are irreversible missed opportunities. So what I want to do today is to go on a journey to talk about the mindset of money, not just particularly money. We're going to get to that part. But what I want to do is provide a platform that you can understand the money, understand how to handle the money, and make the most of the money. With that being said, I want to provide an acronym for you in talking about goals. Goals should be looked at as a strategy for maximizing God's opportunities and assets in your life. I want to repeat that once again. Goals, strategy for maximizing God's opportunities and assets in your life. I'm going to say it one more time. Goals, a strategy for maximizing God's opportunities and assets in your life. Young men, today I want to tell you a secret. We cannot win. You cannot win without a plan. Once again, we're trying to level the playing field. We're trying to give you a format. We're trying to give you a system. We're trying to give you a thought process where we can get you to win in the area of money. So let's start with the G of goals. Let's start with the G. Keep in mind that all in good and perfect things come from God. Keep in mind that all good and perfect things come from God. Also keep in mind that God gives you the power to become wealthy. Now, it also says that working hard, you'll be rich. But you don't want to be rich, you want to be wealthy. So what is that one thing that wakes you up in the morning? What is that one thing? Is it the young man? Do you want to be a professional athlete? Do you like the study of science? Do you like money? Do you want to be an accountant? Do you want to be a doctor? What is that one thing that wakes you up? Tapping into God's purpose for your life is very important, because in order to make your money matter, you got to find out how you're supposed to generate money first. Don't chase the money, chase the purpose first. Find out what you've been created to do and begin to line up with that thing. And this is one of the things I want to say. Don't worry about who hasn't done it, because chances are God created you to do it. Don't worry about what hasn't been done, because God probably created you to do it. When I was your age, I was once told to find out where the problem is at and become the problem solver. The bigger the problem, the bigger your compensation. Now, you've heard all these good things about me, so I'm going to tell you a few things to help put everybody on the same playing field. I grew up in a low income area. I grew up with a grandmother with a 6th grade education. My mother had me when she was in 11th or 12th grade in high school, didn't have a father. So I'm just going to go all the list of why I shouldn't be here today, why I shouldn't be talking to you about money. But guess what happened? Sitting around some friends, God spoke to me at the age of 21 around some future NFL players, and he said to me to tell them that I want to manage your money. That's right. I was 21 years old, sitting at the Florida State football game amongst some Florida State football players, and the Lord had the audacity to tell me to tell those guys that I want to manage your money. Guess what it started with? God. God said, and I believe. You're not going to get the money you desire, have the lifestyle you really want until you tap into that God thing. The G of goals, the God thing. What is your God thing? And let no one tell you that it cannot be possible once you know that God said it. What is the G in your goals? That is critical. You can't get to the O, the A, and the L if you have not identified what is your G. So let's go to O. O, opportunities. Opportunities. I want everybody to know before we get started that each and every person will be granted a chance in life to fulfill purpose. Let's say that one more time. Each and every person will be granted a chance to fulfill their purpose. No matter how bad your situation may be today, there is a moment coming. There is an opportunity coming that if you're ready, you're going to be able to fulfill purpose. The key to understanding your opportunity is exposure. You need to start reading books. You need to start changing your circles. You need to start obtaining a mentor because opportunities may seem like obstacles if your vision is not right. I'm going to say that again. Opportunities may seem like obstacles if your vision is not right. People are always going to tell you what you cannot do. But if you've been around people that have done the impossible, you'll be able to feel like you can do the impossible. So read as many books about great people. Read as many books about great people. Be around as many great people as you can. And don't be afraid to dream. There's a great big opportunity out there for you. But you have to believe that it's possible. Do you see the glass half empty or half full? Do you see the glass half empty or half full? When you hear the statement that very few people have been able to accomplish this, do you get excited or do you get frustrated? Do you get excited when you say, well, I haven't seen many people be able to do that? Does that excite you or does that frustrate you? The answer should be it should excite you. You should say, well, if it's only one person that has done it, now it's going to be two. If it's one person that's done it, I'm going to be the next one in line, so now it's going to be two. We have to understand that in this area of finance, it's shifting to more about behavior. Behavior is critical in finance. The thoughts, the emotions, how you see things, what you've been through. Behavior shapes how you see money, how you see the opportunities of money, your fear of money. All that is shaped in behavior. What you've been through can impact how you see opportunities and how you see the ability to gain wealth. So you have to I've heard this said before, you have to get rid of your stinking thinking, especially in the area of money. I am sitting here today to tell you I had no business thinking that I can manage future millionaires in the NFL money. I had no business, but I had gotten exposure. I had read books. And I had seen some people do the impossible. So when I saw it, I believed that it could happen for me. The previous speaker was Bishop John Eric Guns. He used to make a quote. He used to say that God does not expose you to anything that he does not want you to have. Let me say that once again. God does not expose you to anything that he doesn't want you to have. So, young man, if you meet someone that has money, get a chance to hang out with them. Ask them how did they do it, but then believe that it can happen for you. I want to say that again. Believe it can happen for you. I would tell this story. My grandmother, and we mentioned it in the introduction. My grandmother used to work for some of the families in the Jewish community in Jacksonville, Florida. And my grandmother made it on purpose to let me know that though they are where they're at today, I want you to know, Santana, when I started working for them, they were poor. Let me say that again. Though they are where they are today, when I started working for them, they were poor. So don't get impressed by where they're at when you don't understand that the journey is going to be similar to yours, and you can get the outcome that they have. That's exciting. And she didn't have to tell me like 2 or 3 times that, Santana, if you believe in their story and you really embrace their story, you can have the same outcome. Now I'm talking about wealth. I really want to talk to the young man that is facing all kind of obstacles, that have any and every reason to believe that I can't have the outcome I want to have. I'm here to tell you that you're looking at a person on this screen that was in your same place. It may be the only difference between you and I is I believe that one day was going to be different. I'll tell the secret. I started counting from the 12th grade. I'm in the 12th grade. I got 11 years to go. I got 10 years to go. And I started counting that when I get to the 12th grade, it is no longer on my grandmother. She's done all she can do. She's made all the sacrifices she can make. But when I cross that stage at William M. Raines and I go to college, she's passing the baton on me, and I'm going to get that money. Yes, I believed it. I understood it would be a process, but I understood that if I make it across the stage, that I had an opportunity to change my children's finances, because opportunities were going to be granted to me. And that if I had the right mindset, I could change a generation. So I'm so excited today because I want you to know once again, opportunities are coming your way. You just have to have the mindset. You have to have that God-centered idea. And you have to understand that most of the times your opportunities come hidden in obstacles. And that's the hand of God, because if everybody saw the opportunity, then everybody would be going for it. But he hid it for you in the form of an obstacle. So you would have the proper perception and you'll see it as an opportunity and you'll maximize it. So let's change perspective. Let's think about when things come our way that seem challenging. Let's begin to ask the thought-provoking question. Is this my life-changing opportunity, or is this truly an obstacle? So let's switch over to the A. The A is assets. Now, for the older generation, they would have a concept of assets. Assets is my house, my car, how much is in the 401k plan, how much is sitting in some land. Those are the traditional assets. But for someone between the age of 15 and 24, your asset is your mind. Your greatest asset is that gray matter between these 2 ears. What maximizing your mindset? Once again, this goes back to the first speaker. What are you reading? How are you improving your skill set? What are you doing to maximize your mind? Get the mind of God. Increase the capacity of your mind. Read something different. Do something different. Go to different places. The assets. The assets are what your mind. And when you're a young man and you want to be an athlete, a professional football, baseball, basketball player, along with your mind is your body, is your greatest asset. Now let's talk about how to make your money matter. If I'm an athlete, then I should be aligning my finances with what is going to improve my assets. So I should be taking the money I save. I should be trying to buy the best cleats. I should be trying to go to camps. I should try to get some massages. Now, if I'm the intellectual guy, my asset is my mind. Where is your money? If you want to go to college and you have to be someone like myself, I knew that my grandmother could not pay for me to go to college. Okay, I had to accept that. And by 10th grade, the reality that my grandmother would not be able to pay for me to go to college was real. So, one, I had to begin to read on what's out there for a low-income person to go to college. I had to do that. Didn't want to. Once again, I've been doing the countdown since first grade. It is on me at 12. So I'm starting to prepare the way. So the first thing I did is, and I found a little loophole in 1991 that if you make over $3,000 for 2 years consecutively, that you can claim independent. I found that loophole in how to get financial aid and be an independent. So I went and asked my mom to not claim me on a tax return so I could be independent and get financial aid. That's one thing. So I allow my mental capacity allowed me to make adjustments. But then also I understood that I was going to have to start saving money for college. Now I had to make certain sacrifices, didn't go to the prom in 12th grade year and those type of things because I understood for me, college was more important than a moment. College would change my life and my lifetime. So I began to align my finances with what I thought was most important. So I asked the question, even the adults, what do you say is most important? If paying for your children's college is important, are you putting money away for a 529 plan or college prepaid plan in Florida? What are you doing to suggest that what you say is important is lining up with where your assets are going? If you say that you want to retire at a certain age, are you putting the money away in your company's 401k and so they'll be able to max their matching contributions? Have you set up a side account to put money away? Are you getting rid of debt? If you say that you want to retire, have you ever put any money away at all? So what are we doing to maximize our assets so it aligns with the desires we say that we want and feel are our God-ordained desires? That's the A. Now let's talk about the L. The L, I would say just read Miss Smith's books. To make it easy, I would say just read Miss Smith's book, Build Your Best Life. But what I will say is this. Please understand that God is going to grant everybody an opportunity to have amazing opportunities in their life. Webster defines life as the ability to get and use energy to reproduce, grow, and respond to change. What all that means to me is that if you have a plan, your plan can be flexible, that you can respond to the changes of life. Your plan, your goal can be organic and you can grow, it can change for the better, and that it can reproduce, that if you have the right plan, it can be done to scale, that other people can do what you have done in order to be successful. Get that. If you set your goals right, if you do it to the best of your ability, then you will be able to reproduce yourself and others because they can follow what you've already done. Now that's good. That's good. That a good life, someone should be able to reproduce it. So we've talked about the G, the O, the A, and the L. And I hope that I've said enough, but not too much that you'll forget that everyone needs to have a strategy to maximize God's opportunities and assets in our lives. I hope that once you get off this conference and you've had a chance to sit and relax, that goal sticks in your mind. and that you begin to fill in the G, the O, the A, and the L in your life. So I would be remiss as a financial advisor, as a CPA, to have a stage or have a platform with young men and I don't talk about budgeting. And I'm going to say it this way. Budgeting, as a young man, please understand life comes with a score. I want to say that one more time. As a young man, please understand life comes with a score. Typically, men love to discuss scores when they are favorable, but they don't like to discuss scores when they don't like the numbers that are not favorable. I know this because I deal with athletes every day. They want to tell me how many sacks they've gotten. They want to tell me how many touchdowns they scored. But when I want to talk to them about budgeting and the score of how they behave financially over a time period, they don't want to have that discussion. As a man, whether the outcome is good or bad, we have to look at the score. So to me, the Santana version of a budget, what is a budget? Budget is the score of how you behave financially in order to achieve your goals in a time frame. That's all a budget is. A budget is a time frame, whether it's 6 months, 12 months, 1 month. It's just a time frame. It does not mean you've lost. It does not mean that you can't change the outcome. It just means in this period, this is the reality of the situation. So you can take the budget from that point and then shape it to get the outcome that you desire. So let's talk about this. Since our target audience today is 15 to, I believe, 24, I want to hope, suggest, and believe that you don't have many expenses. You should not have many expenses at this period. So let's go back to the G. What is that God ordained thing that you're created to do? When creating your budget, let's find out. Let's start the budget with what is the cost of that God ordained thing? How much is it going to cost you to go to college? How much is it going to cost you to buy a PlayStation? How much is it going to cost you to buy some Jordans? Whatever, how much is it going to cost you to buy a car? The thing that you feel like you want for the 15 to 24-year-olds, put a cost to it. And once you put a cost to it, then you should be enticed, you should be invigorated, you should be challenged to produce enough income or get enough relationships that you can have enough income coming in that's greater than the cost for what you think is your God-ordained thing. If it's a trade, now let's be realistic. In order to go to college, you may have to get a student loan. You may have to get scholarships. Not marginalizing, minimalizing that reality. But if it requires outside sources, at least put the framework in place to start going after those outside sources. The great part about being your age is that you can dream big. You don't have the debt. You don't have all those other issues that come with adulthood. Put a number to your dream and develop the plan to achieve it. If it's college, save your money so you have some spending money. Talk to your family members about who is going to assist in undergirding or minimizing the cost. And then go after whatever scholarships are out there. If you want to be a college football player, the great thing about it is now You can get paid while you're in college. So your job is easy. Your job is to just be the greatest athlete you can be between now and your 12th grade year. And when you get to college, you'll have a full scholarship. You'll have compensation for your name and likeness. And then life changes much faster for you. But if you just want to have a trade and you don't want to do all that, find out what cost is attached to your trade school. And then create an action plan to go after that. Now, for my adults that are listening, if you want to retire, if you want to be a business owner, if you want to go on vacation, start creating a budget to achieve these things. It's not going to happen through happenstance. It's going to happen because you set a plan in place. Once again, we have to be proactive. We are proactive by taking the initiative on setting a plan in place. So I'll say this in my closing. I want each and every person to understand that you're going to have an opportunity. I can't say that. I don't care how bad your situation is today. I don't care what's gone wrong in your life. There is going to be an opportunity. And if you're not ready, you're going to miss it. Make sure that you have developed the capacity and the mindset to handle your opportunity. And capacity, I mean, spend time. I've heard people mention get a financial coach, get finance for dummies, get whatever you want to increase your capacity to be able to handle what God is going to do in your life. The Bible says that the devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy. So I strongly suggest that says that you are going to have the opportunity to obtain things. But that also says that if you haven't developed the mindset, once you obtain it, the devil's greatest desire is to take it away from you. So I want you to understand, in closing, that we have, for the older people, we have a period of wealth accumulation, then we have a period of wealth preservation, and we have a period of wealth distribution. We want to make sure that whatever part of your life you're at, either you're accumulating, either you're preserving what you have, or some people that I know on this call it enjoying the distribution stage. Enjoy it and build your best life. That's all I have today.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Santana, for that wealth of information. Again, I was taking notes. I like the acronym for goals. Of course, we know that God has definitely got to be the foundation for everything. Just want to highlight a few things, and then I just have one question for you to elaborate on for me. I love it when you said that all good and perfect things come from God. We say that, but we have to do more than say it. We definitely have to believe that. So to all of our listening audience, especially the target audience, do know that everything that's good and perfect can only come from above. And then you said that each and every person will be granted the opportunity to feel purpose. That's powerful to me. They will be granted the opportunity to feel that purpose. Now, whether we live up to that purpose or live out that purpose, that means we have some work to do. Something that was powerful to me that you said with opportunities, you talked about the mind and the mindset. It can come in hitting obstacles. And my question comes from there. For this target group, you stated that they should not have much debt. They should not have hopefully, any debt. If we're beyond that, we might have houses, cars, we could have land. You said the 401k. But can you just give a tip to those for whatever reason? Because it's so easy to get credit nowadays, to get the wrong type of credit nowadays, to find yourself deeper in a hole nowadays. Can you just tell us a little bit about, for those who are in that target age group, what if they have started going down that path of debt and credit? What would you advise them to do? And then I'll be finished.
Well, from a biblical perspective, the Bible says if you owe someone, run and ask to be forgiven of the debt. So debt is not something from a biblical perspective that God even prescribed. There are very few that can manage debt well. Yeah. So to answer your question, if a young man has maybe obtained a credit card or got himself in a car loan that has a very unfavorable interest rate, first I would suggest getting it paid off. That's what, by whatever means, if it's taking on a second job or if it's just, if they're staying at home, then they need to just retarget or refocus where the money's going to and then get rid of that debt. If it's a car and the interest rate is not favorable, do the things to improve your credit score and refinance the car loan. I don't think people talk about refinancing enough, especially where interest rates are now at an all-time low. If you have a car loan and that the interest rate is not favorable, refinance. Do the things, and if possible, put a little more money down along with the refinancing to lower the payment.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for that. Definitely appreciate that information. So hopefully our target audience they're listening to, they would take that advice. Your life story is remarkable. By man standards, is no way you should be sitting in the position where you are sitting. So I know that you believe in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and that's why goals start with G, because that's your foundation. So thank you so very much for sharing your story with us. Thank God for great grandparents who did not just toss us to the side, that she instilled that great wisdom, knowledge, just hope. And you also said dream big. And I'm going to close with, to all of our audience out there, there's nothing wrong with dreaming big. Just make sure as you're dreaming that you're working as well. So thank you again, Santana, for spending your morning with us. We are the better and the wiser from it because you spent some time with us. Thank you. Continue to enjoy sunny Jacksonville, and we wish you the very, very best in all of your endeavors. Thank you. Well, that was some great, grand information. And I just love it when they just keep it simple. He just talked about the G, the O, the A, and the L, talked about each one of those things, talked about life, gave you another shout out, Deborah, for your book. So evidently, for those of you who don't have that book, you need to make sure you get that book. Goals. It's a strategy to maximize God's opportunities and access in your life. That was good. That was strong, and that was powerful. Our current time now, we have about 5 minutes before we start our next session. We know that it's right during the lunchtime, so we're going to allow you a few extra moments to maybe to get a small snack and to be back with us at 1 o'clock so we can start our next session. During that time, we also encourage you to call all of your social media friends, contact them, and tell them that we've already had 3 down and we have 2 more to go, and encourage them to come and be a part of this Men to Boys conference. Take a short break, and we'll see you back here, same place, different link, same place at 1 o'clock. A short break, please.